Hello students, how are you? I hope everyone is safe at home. This is Rohit sir, your biological science teacher. In the previous video we have discussed about different types of tissues, and in that we have discussed about the connective tissue, and we also discussed that blood is a type of connective tissue. Now why it is called as connective tissue? The blood is called as connective tissue because it is connecting different types of organs. It is not only connecting different types of organs, but also it is transporting the oxygen and carbon dioxide and very useful nutritive material. Now today in this class we are going to discuss about activity number 4. You should listen careful because in the middle of the video I will give you what is the homework today. Okay, now let us start our video. Activity 4. What you have to do? First of all, you have to invite any scientist or a pathological person inside of your school. Now before going to that, you have to conduct or you have to prepare a questionnaire. What is the meaning of questionnaire? Questionnaire is nothing but set of questions. So you have to set a number of questions about the blood, and then you have to do an interview to that person, either a scientist or otherwise a doctor, or if it is possible then you can call any pathological assistant. Now after completion of the interview, prepare a booklet about the blood and keep it in the classroom library as a display in the bulletin board. Now it differs from other types of connective tissue. Blood is a different types of connective tissue. Now there are different types of cells in the blood that each one has a different function. All the cells in the blood float very freely in the plasma. Actually, when you see other cells, one cell is connected with another cell. There should be a very less amount of the gap. But here, whenever you see here, this blood is a liquid. Then there is a very big gap between one cell and another cell. Now all these cells are freely floating, just like one person is swimming in a swimming pool. And what is the liquid that they are flowing? They are flowing in the plasma. Plasma is a liquid. Now extracellular space is filled with fluid called plasma, and there are no fibers in the blood. Actually, there are some fibers inside of our muscles, and here there is no fibers inside of our blood. As you can see here, these are all different types of blood cells we have discussed in the previous videos. Now blood, let us discuss about the blood. Blood is also a type of tissue which is having different types of components. Now there are red stream that flows in the closed canals in our body. Think what is it? What is closed canal? This closed canal is called a blood vessel. Now inside the blood vessel some blood is moving, this is red in color. Now the red stream that flows in closed tubules in our body is called as blood. It is also a type of connective tissue. Blood explain more things about you, whether you are good or whether you are ill, whether your health is in problem or whether your health is in danger. What the doctor will do, first of all he will check the blood, then only he will analyze about your body condition. So blood will tell more about your body. Blood is the source of identifying our wellness and illness. It is very interesting to know about that blood is the blood current in our body. There is a highly sophisticated and well developed mechanism circulate the blood in the entire body. Okay, as you have observed that a very big channel of tubules are arranged to circulate the tap water in our homes. Now a special structure called water tanker is available. From the water tanker different canals are sending the water to our body, sending the water to our house. Just like that, a small canal or series of pipes are arranged to circulate the water in the municipality or in a local area. Just like that, if you imagine our body as a village, there is a source of blood that is called a heart. So from the heart a special type of tubules are arranged that will helpful for transportation of the blood with the help of very big and small connection of series of blood vessels. Now our heart pumps nearly 36,000 liters of blood to a distance of nearly 20,000 kilometers in the time period of 24 hours. But don't blindly go with that. Our body have some this much of liters. 36,000 of liters of blood is not present in the human body. What is the average amount of the blood present in an adult human being? Nearly or approximately 5 liters. We cannot say correctly that exact 5 liters are available. 4.5 to 5 liters are in between approximately are available inside of a healthy adult human being. Now why he said that 36,000 of liter blood is pumped by our heart? That is nothing but all the blood is regularly circulating now. So when you compare within the 24 hours how many times our blood is circulating from again and again and again from heart to the body parts and from body part to the heart. So this much of fastness and this much of far they are traveling. So this is the main motive behind of these lines. Now blood is red in color. Do you agree with the statement that all the animals carrying red blood cells are our blood relatives? Now, will you say that all the red blood carrying animals are our relatives? You cannot say like that. The blood is always not red in all animals. Some have blue color, some have colorless blood also. Now the cockroaches have white blood where there is a blue colored blood in the snails. It is really a wonder that blood appears in different colors. Okay, who added colors to them? There are different types of pigments are there inside of the blood. They are giving color. Now what is the major reason behind our red color of our human blood? That is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a special chemical molecular structure which is giving red color to our blood. Now normal adult human being have 5 liters of blood. We cannot clearly say that exact 5 liters are there. Approximately 5 liters of blood is there in a normal adult human being. Adult human being is nothing but in between 30 to 50 in between, right? Now a chief component in the blood is water. What is the major portion that is filled inside of the blood? That is water, which is stored in the plasma. Actually this water is stored inside of the plasma. Now beside the water it also has several nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, proteins, vitamins, hormones and are required for the body, and also excretory products present there. What are the excretory products? Excretory products are the useless products that should be removed from our body. Now here, what are the excretory products that are present here? Lactic acid, urea and salts. These things should be excreted from our body. They are also present inside of our blood. Plasma also contain factors responsible for blood clotting. Heparin. Heparin is a chemical which is helpful. Heparin is a chemical which is preventing the blood clotting in our blood vessels. So many times I have wondered that whenever the blood vessel is injured, the blood is coming out of our body, then it is clotting. Then I have a doubt. Why the blood is not clotting inside of our body? There should be a reason, no? Actually the reason is heparin. Whenever the blood is present inside of your human body, heparin will not allow the blood to clot. But whenever a blood vessel is injured, the blood is coming out of your body, this heparin will be evaporated and then soon the blood will start clotting. Now cells present in the blood are RBC, WBC and blood platelets. Now red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. Why erythrocytes? Because they are in red color, that's why they are called erythrocytes. Now they have red colored protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Here heme, HAEM is nothing but iron. So here this red blood cells are having iron. So whenever you are in short of the blood, what the doctor will suggest you? Doctor will suggest you to eat the iron tablets. So as much as iron is present in your body, you will have more amount of redness inside of your blood, and the red blood cells will carry more amount of the oxygen to your body. Now because of hemoglobin, blood is in red in color, now which helps in the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. 1 ml of human blood have 5 millions of red blood cells. This is very important for your examination purpose. How many millions of red blood cells are present in 1 ml? 5 million red blood cells are present. And what is the life expectancy or life span of one red blood cell? 120 days. After 120 days, if you use it or if you don't use it, they may destroy. So what is the lifespan of RBC? Lifespan of RBC is 120 days. I request all of you to please take a notebook and write all these points regarding the blood and hemoglobin and the composition of the blood. Okay. Now taking the blood of an adult, we can make a chain of red blood cells around the earth at the equator above with 7 circles. If you see this as earth, if you take this equator, if you keep one cell and another red blood cells, then you can make a chain of 7 circles with the red blood cells. This much of red blood cells are present inside of our body. And another interesting thing about the RBC is when you are in the mother's womb, your RBC are formed in the liver and spleen. Okay. What is the birthplace of RBC? Whenever you are present inside your mother's womb, that is spleen and liver. But after the birth, RBC will generate from the bone marrow. Okay, bone marrow of long bones. In mammals, mature red blood cells are without nucleus. Okay, what are the mammals? Mammals are the animals which are feeding their young ones with the milk, and at the same time which are giving birth to young ones. Now here these mammals have mammary glands. Inside the mammary glands, these mature red bloods are without nucleus. Now the second type of cells that are present inside the blood are WBC. Those are nothing but white blood cells. These cells do not have hemoglobin, that's why they are called as leukocytes. What is the meaning of leuko? Leuko means colorless. Leukocytes are nothing but colorless cells. These cells are less in number when compared with the RBC. Now there are two types of WBC are there. They are called granulocytes and agranulocytes. Agranulocytes. Now let me tell you a very important secret thing about how to identify these granulocytes and agranulocytes. If you see any WBC, inside the WBC, if some granule-like structures are there, they are called granulocytes. If there are no granule-like structures, then they are called agranulocytes. This is very, very simple. Okay. Now there are three types of cells inside the granulocytes also. Now if you see the blood is a composition of RBC, WBC and blood platelets. Okay. Then again WBC is divided into granulocytes and agranulocytes. Now if you see the granulocytes, again these granulocytes are again divided into neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. I request all of you to please write this flow chart, blood and its separate parts as a homework also. This is second homework. So why am I giving this homework? So that you can easily remember the types of the blood cells which are useful in your further studies. Now granulocytes are again divided into three types: neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. What are they? Neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. These cells attack and destroy the microorganisms when they enter inside of your blood. Imagine that now coronavirus is entering inside of your body, then which cells will fight? Either neutrophils or basophils or eosinophils. They will fight against these disease causing viruses and bacteria, and they are giving protection to our body. Now some white blood cells sacrifice their life while fighting against with the external bacteria, external viruses. These dead WBC come out from the wound as pus. So many times you have observed that some white color liquid coming out of very large wounds. That is called pus. In the Telugu we call it as chemo. Okay, why this pus is coming out? When the WBC is trying to kill the bacteria, some amount of the bacteria is becoming dead. Now is our body is keeping all the WBC inside of your human body? No, it is not keeping inside of our human body, and it is removing in the form of pus, because that pus is poisonous to our body. Next, neutrophils are the first line of defense against bacteria. So in the examination there is a chance of asking that what is the first line of defense inside of our human body. Then you can ask, or then you can write that neutrophils are the first line of defense against the bacteria. So they are called microscopic policemen. Okay, which cells are called microscopic policemen? Neutrophils. Neutrophils are called as microscopic policemen. Now there are two types of agranulocytes. They are lymphocytes and monocytes. Now as you can see here, granulocytes are three types. Now agranulocytes, two types. What are they? Lymphocytes and monocytes. Now lymphocytes secretes antibodies to guard against foreign material. Then when they enter into our blood, see, if any bacteria is entering into our blood, these lymphocytes will produce a special chemical called antibodies. Antibodies are the chemicals which are useful for the future purposes. Okay, see, let me explain this. Imagine this as your body. If any bacteria enters here, These lymphocytes will kill that bacteria and they will create a small chemical. This chemical is called antibodies. Why these antibodies are useful? These antibodies are useful in the future purposes. If again this type of bacteria when they come, then again lymphocytes are not required. Only this chemical will kill and destroy all this bacteria. Now monocytes move like amoeba and they attack the foreign particles. And they will engulf the bacteria. So that's why they are called natural scavengers. So you can also be asked that what are the cells, or which cells are called as natural scavenger. You can call them as monocytes are called as natural scavengers. Now the last one, that is nothing but blood platelets. Now blood platelets are a separate group of cells which do not have a nucleus. They are disc-like projections. Whenever a blood vessel is injured, platelets are accumulated at the site of injury and they help in the formation of blood clot. These clots heals the wound in the blood vessels and prevent the further blood loss. So that's why platelets are very, very important. These platelets are useful for the healing of blood vessel. Imagine that this is a blood vessel, somewhere it was injured. Then at the site of injury, first the platelets will come and they will break. Whenever a platelet will break, a special type of chemical will be produced, that is called thrombin or thrombokinase. So here a series of chain will be started. With this series of chains, some thread-like structures will be formed and all the RBC will seal this wound, and in the future after 2 or 3 days this wound will be cured. Okay, that's why platelets are very important. So that's why whenever you go to a hospital nowadays, it has become a trend that platelets count has decreased and so many things are happening here. If you want to increase your platelets count, then you have to eat the fresh vegetables and fruits and avoid the junk food and do yoga or any other physical exercise. Then automatically your platelets number will be increases. And if you eat the curd rice also, it will increase your platelet counts. Okay, and also C vitamin foods, they are called as just like amla or otherwise goa, oranges. These are all increase your immunity power. So at this time immunity power is very, very important. So that's why you should be very, very careful. So this is all for today. I hope you have understood the lesson, and in the tomorrow's lesson we are going to discuss about the blood grouping. So how many types of blood groups are there and how to do the blood grouping. So encourage your teachers by pressing the likes. If you have any doubts, then you can ask in the comment section. And also, so many of your people are not watching. In your class nearly 100 or 120 people are there, but very few people are watching. So this is not encouraging us. So if you want more amount of the digital and live experiences, then you have to watch the classes and then you have to respond. And very less people are submitting their homework. Okay, this is not a good thing. So recently so many people have regularly sent their homework, but nowadays they are neglecting their homework. This is not a good idea. So you have to submit all the work. I request all of you to please submit your homework regularly and encourage us by pressing the like buttons and by doing the comments and asking the doubts to my personal number. So many of your seniors are asking so many doubts, so you also have to respond to our videos. I hope this session was understandable. So if you have any doubts regarding my language or otherwise my representation, you are feel free to ask to my personal contact number. So this is all for today. I hope you have understood the lesson. Have a good day. Bye.